You was in the music industry for many years, weren't you? Obviously, the music industry's always been well known for rebellion, hasn't it? Yeah. The great rock and roll and chucking stuff out of hotel windows and this, that and the other. It's always been known in the music industry. But what really, how much the music industry all just jumped into line and not many of them spoke out or rebelled. What's your thoughts and why do you think that happened? Well,
if you're Springsteen or Elton John, you don't mind a couple of years off. You're not going to become poor. But the people that did the actual humping and grafting, those were the ones that were hit. And the small bands that needed venues to be open to play in, we got a little part of that because we were booked to headline quite a few festivals. And one by one, like dominoes, they just disappeared. And then you're looking at a blank diary. But yeah, you got all the venues getting in touch with the bands and then saying, we can't have you on this whatever month. Sorry, COVID regulations. And there were some things that were government decrees, and then there were other things that the venues were just capitulating to, which happened in every business. But it really killed a lot of bands and a lot of solo artists. And when you take into account, then you've got the mental health problems of people suddenly having no work. And then the only avenue is universal credit and all the permutations of misery that brings. It exponentially gives rise to a lot of mental health problems.
So do you think that's why people in the music industry were so quiet about things and didn't want to speak out because they were scared of losing their jobs, their contracts or whatever? You think there was an element of that in it?
I think it was twofold. One, there were a lot of cowards that wouldn't speak up.
What's the lad in UB40? He lost his job through it all, didn't he?
Matt Hoy.
Matt Hoy, yeah.
That's it. Brilliant singer. He was UB40 man for 11 years.
Knowing what's to come was a privilege for me, and I do miss it. But I won't put my life on the line just to sing Red, Red Wine.
And that was crazy what happened with him, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had an underlying health problem with his heart already. And said, I really don't want to take this added thing. And yeah, he got shafted.
Do you know Matt at all?
Yes, I do.
Yeah?
It's a great bloke, very definitely.
Get him on the blower then. Let's see if he wants to come and sit in here.
Yeah, because Matt's got a lot to say about...
Do a bit of a session.
Yeah, he's got a lot to say about politics and his story, what happened to him. And I think that's scandalous to be just let go after all those years.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I read it. I read about it. I'd never been a big follower of UB40. Some of the stuff were all right. But when I read about what happened with him, what he had to sacrifice just for his belief, it's shocking, ridiculous.
I mean, that happened from your low-key bands to people such as Matt. And I think there was another few rock bands, maybe in the States, where the guys said, look, I really don't want to do this. I believe in it, but I don't want to be forced into doing it.
Yeah.
They were labelled anti this, anti that. But for me, if anybody, and this has been from being in short pants, if anybody says, you shall do this, I will do the opposite.
Did you see the music industry for what it is? Because you played pretty big gigs and all that, and you did all that where you get picked up, chauffeur drivers and all that business. You went through all that business, didn't you? Played in several countries, I believe.
About 40.
40 countries?
4 continents.
Did you?
Yeah. This is your life. But the gigs had started to become second to the adventure and everything that was the periphery of being in a band. I'm talking the hedonistic lifestyle. and we were all shit. Like foxes in a chicken pen with the ladies, as it were. But it was great, having underwear thrown up on stage.
Come on. Yeah. You think you're Tom Jones?
It's not unusual. Yeah. I have a lot of stories about management.
Is that for another day? You're going to spill a bit?
That's for another day.
Yeah. I bet you had some funny stories as well, though, didn't you?
I fell out of a van on the motorway at like 90 miles an hour.
How'd you manage that?
Because one of the tour managers, we'd stopped.
Forget to shut the door? Or
yeah, quite literally. We'd stopped off at a service station, and one of the Portuguese tour managers, Jorginho, he'd kind of said, okay, see you later, and not shut the door properly. Me being half cut. He'd been half cut at that time. There was no seatbelt. So we were up the motorway, and just the wind took me out of the van. We were going at 90, top speed.
Shuffling, no.
And hit the deck. And it's quite strange because I could see, with every roll on the motorway, which is like half a second, you can see the cars coming closer towards you. And I was just thinking, oh, that's it, done. I don't have to return that library book. But due to the camera in the road, I kind of rolled to the banking, came to after a few seconds.
You done much damage?
Yeah, I did quite a bit. I was both arms were open, both knees. My boots were split. One of my toes was split. And there was more damage than I thought because the lads got me in the van, took me straight to a hotel, and I had to stop myself from going into shock.
Took you to the hotel, not the hospital?
No, because I had this thing at the back of my mind that I didn't want to go to a foreign hospital rather. Well, hotel, hospital, same thing. So George took me back to my hotel. He ran me a warm bath, and he got this kind of whatever ointment. He just put that on and left me be. And I just remember laying in the bed feeling a bit sorry for myself. But the lads had said to me, will you be okay to gig tonight? And I remember I had to play on a stool and all these bits of glass and grit in my finger ends, which is quite painful when you're playing guitar. And I was drugged up on whatever they were giving me. And then after the gig, there was a party being held for us on the beach front. And of course, there's all these gorgeous Portuguese girls. And I'd sit in this corner feeling sorry for myself with this plate of food. And then a couple of days later, I'm walking down the foyer at the hotel, and I felt like someone had stuck a darning needle in the backside. I was like, oh. So it took me to this hospital. And there was a doctor smoking in the corridor, believe it or not. I found quite funny.
I've got a story about a doctor smoking.
And they took me for an X-ray. She's looking up at this chart, and she says, do you see anything? And I looked and I thought, that's your job, isn't it? She went, I can't see anything. So it was a bit of a carry-on, bit of a joke. And then I found out that I got a tiny hairline crack in my pelvis. So I got a couple of needles and this like girdle, really tight bandage placed around me. So I had to persevere with that for the rest of the tour. But there was alcohol there, so just made the best of it.
Just helped.
Yeah, as it did.